So, spooky season is right around the corner, and I want to talk about one of my favorite short films. 10 years ago, a YouTuber by the name of Dat2T Animation released a 3.5-minute short film called There's a Man in the Woods. The story is about an elementary school teacher who gets caught in the crossfire of complaints from parents and faculty when one of his students claims that there is a man in the woods. A lie that the kid comprised so that the kids would stay away from his favorite spot on the playground. Eventually, that lie would end up getting back into the homes of the children and would start making its way back to the teacher, which causes him to get fired and leads him down a very, very dark path. This is one of the most amazing short films that I've ever seen, and one that I tend to go back to every now and then. First off, because it is so short, and it is one of those easy short films that you can just watch, but it's also just so satisfying in the dialogue and the overall story. There's a movie that stars Mads Mikkelsen that's very much like this, and it's called The Hunt, and it has a pretty similar premise. But the fact that this 3.5-minute short film takes so much subject matter and fits it into only those 3 minutes and 30 seconds is pretty astounding. The narration is what really grounds it because it's very poetic in its writing, and the story moves from point A to point C. If you are a fan of my content, make sure that you drop a like and follow, but let's get into this scary short film. Now, for those who don't want to get this spoiled, and I highly recommend not getting it spoiled because it's only 3.5 minutes long, so you may as well go watch it and experience it for yourself. But yeah, there's going to be spoilers in 3, 2, 1. The most chilling part of this short film comes at the very end of the short film, in which the teacher becomes the man in the woods. Now, this story is very much like The Boy Who Cried Wolf, in which in this case it's about a boy that creates a lie, and that lie grows into something far bigger than he could have imagined, and it ends up leading to becoming the truth. A lie becomes the truth after a while. Now, there's a lot of intricacy when it comes to this short film in particular. When it comes to the narration, when it comes to the writing, the dialogue, it's all very well constructed in a manner that builds up that last line of dialogue in which he says, "Hey there's a man in the woods." Now, there is a deeper and bigger message behind this in which it really explores the lack of parenting and the fact that someone's reputation being destroyed could affect a lot more than just that one person. I think the scariest part about this short film, though, is that although the ending is absolutely terrifying, there is also an underlining satisfaction to it. Now, give me a second to explain, because clearly the ending of this animated short film is very twisted and messed up, but it's not about the particular violent message at the very end of it. It's about the retaliation and really understanding the cruel impact that people can have on other people's lives when it comes to really derailing someone's whole career. And the ending is just supposed to let us know that, you know, a lie to get what you want might work in the beginning part of it, but in the grand scheme of things, it will most likely come back to bite you in the ass. Now, I don't think that if this short film was really I don't know if the main teacher character actually became the man in the woods, but it's really supposed to be this message of letting the audience know that if you're gonna continue to make lies like this, there are going to be consequences. But I think the other thing that I absolutely love about this short film is that if it were just written like a poem on a sheet of paper, I would be reading it and I would be able to see like this, like what plays out, because it's so poetically jarring in the way that it portrays its story and the way that it uses dialogue to really push its narrative. I think this short film should be studied in every single film class because it tells us that you don't have to have a longer short film to have an important story or to have a hard-hitting story like There's a Man in the Woods does. There is so much beauty in simplicity, and I feel like a lot of people are not understanding that when it comes to crafting a short film. It's not a bad word when you say simplicity and it comes to a short film. It's not about being simple. It's not about just throwing something together to make it simple. I'm talking about simplicity in the way that you get a story across that is very powerful, very compelling, and it doesn't really take a whole ton of effort. I'm sure a lot of effort went into this short film with the animation and the story, but it's not something that overstays its welcome and tries super hard to tell a really compelling story. This is just a perfect short film. But yeah, like I said, we're nearing the spooky season, and I feel like it was really smart to start off with There's a Man in the Woods, because not only is this a very scary short film, it's a very real short film. If you've made it to the end of this video and still haven't watched There's a Man in the Woods, take my word for it and go watch it, because you won't regret it. I think this is my favorite animated short film. It's incredible from start to finish, and it's one of the most rewatchable things that you can watch just because of how satisfyingly paced, written, and like animated it is. But that'll bring us to the end of this video. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end of it. I hope that you love this short film as much as I do, and I'm curious, what is your favorite part of this short film? Make sure to let me know in the comments below. If you are a fan of my content, make sure you drop a like and follow. But again, I say that brings us to the end of the video. I appreciate every single one of you. But remember, your movie moment is right around the corner. See you in the next video.